Denver Broncos Mile High View, no commercials, no bullshit. If you want to hear the same tired dribble that you're going to get from Sports Talk Radio, the other YouTube websites,
Brandon Allen sucks. Bring in Locke. We got to see what we have.
then throw Locke under the bus. Then go draft another quarter. I mean, the same merry-go-round. Go there. Just go there and just listen to the same thing you've been doing over and over and over. Fine. When I started this podcast, the very first thing I talked about was Elway, Pat Bolin's death, and how that was going to affect the Denver Broncos. Okay, this is more than just a simple, changing of a quarterback. Oh, we just get Patrick Mahomes. All these magic wands will be waved. No, they won't. The organization is definitely in a tailspin. It goes from the top down.
Replacing Brandon Allen with Locke is not going to replace what is happening right now with the Denver Broncos.
Until there's a cultural change. I mean, that's just the bottom line. But you can go and listen to your bullshit. That's how you think things are going to be changed. But I'm going to give you all the little breakdowns just of this game and how the whole thing it's out of control. And how there's and how the need is across the board. It's beyond the quarterback. You've got receivers, for whatever the reason, they weren't even remotely trying to get open. You had Patrick on the first drive, and he's just standing there. The ball is, it's taken a while for the ball to get to him, and he has the opportunity to step in front of the defender, and he just stands there, and that defender could have picked off the ball. You got to have these receivers get off their ass. You have both Allen, the offensive coordinator, receivers, all not even on the same page. You have Scangarllo still trying to throw behind the line to the tight end, which doesn't work. You have Scangarllo running bubble plays on a team that has 20 years experience on bubble screen plays, playing the Patriots. They're experts at snuffing it out. You have to come up with better plays. I thought Buffalo had a much better game plan than did the Broncos. Also, I believe that both lines of the Bills are superior to the Denver Broncos. That's why they had such success running the ball. The Broncos had a successful formula when they were bringing Reisner around, but they couldn't go straight at the Bills at all with the running game. It was just snuffed out. But when they brought Reisner and they ran to the right, they had success, but they really didn't do it very often. But every time they did, they had success. Yeah, Reed and Davis, we have to get better at linebacking. Reed and Davis, they could not tackle a standing, no moving JOSSH Allen. Just miffed. I mean, it was one thing if one guy miffs, but when you got two guys, you can't have that. You got to get better than that. You got to get upgrades at linebacker. The Harris, the corner's got to be replaced. He's been getting burned. These last two games, he's just getting burned left and right. And Chris Harris Jr. got burned on the last TD. And, I'm just sick of, he's the fan favorite. You got to do better than that. He was getting, where was Chris Harris Jr. during that whole debacle in Minnesota when the receivers were, Diggs was just torching the Denver Broncos. Where was Chris Harris Jr.? Dawson Jr., he's got to go. Number 20. Yadam's got to go. There's just a lot of this has got to be cleared out. There's a lot of clearing that needs to be done on the Denver Broncos' part. Yeah, and Allen's holding on to the ball. He knows longer than that. I want to go back to the wide receivers in the three. I keep preaching the 2 to 3 second window. Receivers have got to get open. JOSSH Allen, you cannot be holding on to the ball too long. Receivers weren't getting open, and the play calling just wasn't there. You can't be throwing to Noah Fant behind the line of scrimmage. So, what are you going to get out of putting Drew Lock in? Are you really going to get anything different than what you're seeing now? Drew Lock can't read defenses, so his inclination is going to be to run, so he's going to run a lot more. Will that leave wide open receivers not getting balls to them? Hebert. I watched Hebert, and this guy, he's not even ready in my opinion. He's still working on being a quarterback at the college level. I was watching a game with Arizona State, and you'd think they were playing friggin' Alabama. I mean, it was very bad reads on his part. Very Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But lots of really bad reads on his part. To me, Hebert, and the fact that John Elway covets Hebert scares me. It's typical. It's like, go figure. Because there's nothing redeeming to me about Hebert. If this guy goes in the first round, whoever picks him up in the first round is a sucker. This guy really needs to keep working on the college level before he can even get to the pros. He had more bad reads. It was just one bad read after another. He had a little bit he scored a couple touchdowns, but that was like a third of it, but 2/3 of his play was just totally bad reads. It got bad. What got bad is when you could see the coaching staff would have rather ran the ball than have Hebert throw the ball. So if he could maybe read defenses, but I think Locke is an upgrade to Hebert. All this talk about, there was also all the talk about the coach, the head coach, he could be a 1-year coach and, nobody likes him and all this stuff. Isn't that a distraction from Elway? Isn't what should be talked about is what do we do with John Elway? He's become Al Davis, a meddling owner, just keeps screwing it up and the team keeps going down the tubes. I don't, know what you're going to do until you get an owner. Brittany Bolin, are you kidding me? I don't trust Brittany Bolin, nor do I trust the other Bolin either. It's, as I said, when I open my podcast, my YouTube channel, that until this ownership thing sees itself through, it's going to be bad for a long time. Because who's going to fire Elway or Ellis? They've made monumentally bad decisions that's impacting the team to this day. The only thing that they can do is just keep getting talent. But I'm not sure Scangarllo is really all that. What did I say? I said Lolita transvestite. It looks good from afar until you get up and it's like, oh my God, this isn't this hot woman. It's some kid in a dress. It just, ugh. So, but then again, like I say, maybe Scangarello's just going through his growing pains too. But the fact that you keep you're stubborn and you keep wanting to throw to Noah Fant behind the line is just, it's beyond me, beyond perplexing. You should be developing much better plays than that. Buffalo had better plays design than you did, Scangarello. Some of them looked like right out of the Patriot book. Some of them, they were trying to run it looked like they were making an attempt to run what Baltimore had run, but that got snuffed out. But all in all, just, really lackluster play calling. Of course, when when receivers can't get open, they're not good enough to get open, you're kind of screwed. So I don't know. It's a really bad situation. It's bigger than the quarterback. And the only thing I can say at this point is you just got to go out and get as much player personnel as you can, especially on the lines. Both of them aren't very good. You got to get, I just don't think this fourth best defense is really nothing more than a paper tiger.